All right, sorry. Got another group match. This time between me and Chris. I'm obviously Larry GT and Chris. I butchered the name in the last video, and I'm not going to do that again because it looks like I cannot read. But before anything, the two groups that are playing are in the description. And make sure to join those groups. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't before. And this is actually a re-recording of the original video because I realized the audio was like really super low. So this is like so much better and a lot clearer. And I actually like doing this a second time. I kind of see some other points I might have missed in the original run. But let's go ahead and get started. So this is game one. I ran Tapu Fini, Pharaoh, Zapdos, Urshi, Ace, and Spectre. And Chris ran Slowking, Magearna, Heatran, Zapdos, Gastrodon, and Zarude. And since this is me, you can you get my input about how everything went. So I led Cinderace, he led that. I click U-turn just for the momentum's sake. And I go into my Urshifu, because I mean, Urshifu just like 2-hit KOs damn near everything. He goes Zapdos, and I'm just kind of hoping I don't get paired. Well, no, I actually click U-turn, and I get paired anyways. Honestly, I probably should have went for Wicked Blow just to maximize the damage on everything. And so I hit him with a Power Ball, which does a lot of damage too. And he Volt Switches on me, and I think I click U-turn on the Zarude that comes in. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I lost it to Future Sight. So yeah, that was an oversight on my end, where I kind of forgot about that. I go back to Urshifu. He sends out Slowking Galar. And I predicted him to switch out into the Slowking, so that's why the Wicked Blow there was like clutch. And he goes Magearna there. And I go into my Ferrothorn to just kind of sponge some attacks. He clicks Volt Switch, and his switching now would, logically would be Heatran. I mean, I'm basically forced out. And so I go into Tapu Fini, because Tapu Fini can basically to start clicking Scald on it. I just have to worry about the Gastrodon in the back. So I click Taunt. And he misses the Magma Storm. Honestly, he could have just went into Gastrodon because that's what I was expecting. And that's why I clicked, that's why I went for Taunt. And instead he goes into Magearna and tricks me. I should have saw that coming. And he went into like maybe Ferrothorn instead. And I click Scald. I mean, I get some decent damage on it. But I mean, now at this point, he's free to go into Gastrodon here. So that's why I go into Pharaoh. Yep. And I mean, right here, it's free rocks for me at this point. He goes into Heatran, and I mean, like I said before, it's free rocks. So I mean, I'm not really too pressed. I go back into, I think I go into Fini here. And he hits a Magma Storm, so I can't switch out. And he actually, so I'm pretty much stuck. He goes for Protect the Scout, and I was expecting him to go Gastrodon. I didn't know he was carrying Protect, and that's why I went for Draining Kiss. So that kind of really did hurt me a bit. So I mean, he can basically just stay in and just tee off on me, because I mean, I'm only doing 2%, so that's really nothing. It just pretty much gets rid of the Tapu Fini if he wants to. So he goes for Protect again. And I mean, I died in Magma Storm. I go out to Urshifu, and I believe here I click Wicked Blow. Oh, no, I click Close Combat. But either way, I mean, Close Combat still did a chunk of damage to anything that wanted to switch in. So that's how I went for it instead of Wicked Blow. He goes Magearna. And I go Ferrothorn again. I mean, that's the switch in for me. And he goes Focus Blast and misses, which was very fortunate for me. It just sucks that he has leftovers now. So he goes Volt Switch, and I believe I click Leech Seed just to kind of get some health off of that Heatran. Oh no, I knock it off. I get rid of his leftovers. So now Heatran's damage is pretty much set at this point. So I go into Zapdos. Even though Heatran is a pretty solid switch in for Dose, I'm just trying to get rid. I think I might have tried to get rid of Rocks, or I roosted here. And he goes for Taunt, so that means I can't defog anymore. And I believe I'm discharged Zapdos. So I did that just to kind of hopefully fish for a paralysis and just like to whittle him down a bit. And he gets full parrot there. I mean, I'm still taking Magma Storm damage. He goes for Protect. And I go for Discharge again. I mean, he could have easily just went into his Gastrodon. I mean, I think that would have been the better play. But I think he was trying to just kill me in front instead of letting... Because Heatran's getting, like, whittled down a bit. So the taunt's over. And, I mean, I can freely Roost here. And that's what I mean. He should have won the Gastrodon earlier. Because now his... It's not the good trade-off because now his Heatran's whittled down and my Zapdos is back at full health. And I can just pivot directly into Ferrothorn. But I mean, he could have easily there just expected that and went into Heatran instead of clicking Toxic. Because I mean, Zapdos cannot touch Gastrodon at all. And he goes Magearna here. And I get Seeds up on it. Because I mean, I'm just trying to whittle it down a bit. And I believe he clicks Volt Switch here. And goes back into Heatran, which takes 16, which is down to 16%. I go for Knockoff again, and now Heatran cannot switch in anymore as long as rocks are up. I have no, like, reason to get rid of rocks, because, I mean, it gets rid of his Heatran, and it kind of deters the Magearna a bit. And so I Roost here, just because, I mean, I got no reason not to. He lands the Magma Storm again, and, I mean, I'm pretty much at this point just clicking Roost until, like, he either misses a Magma Storm or gets full paired. And he goes for Taunt, so that actually gives me an opportunity as well, because now I can just freely click Discharge. He could have easily went into Gastro just to kind of preserve the Heatran for a sack later on, but I mean, he didn't. And so he goes into Rilla here. Zarude. Hits me with a Darkest Lariat. I mean, I go for Heat Wave. It doesn't really do much, but I mean, it does 36%. And I mean, that's really important for later on. And he goes for Bulk Up here. I click Heat Wave again, and that took 40%. And he gets the taunt off. I mean, my taunt is gone now. He goes for Jungle Healing. And if you notice, Jungle Healing only healed about 29%. So I'm guaranteed a 2-hit KO against him with Heat Wave. So now he's at 20%, and like I said, Heat Wave pretty much it'll drop him down enough to where the Jungle Healing won't bring him back up far enough to avoid this getting killed by me, basically. So Zarude is gone, and he goes into his Magearna here. And I mean, I just Roost up just because I needed to. He goes for Ice Beam, and I get Frozen, which is very unfortunate. Because if I didn't get Frozen, I mean, I was just going to click Heat Wave. And I don't know why this game is so stupid where clicking a fire move doesn't unthaw you. And I go Ferrothorn here. I mean, I really had no choice but to do that. He lands the Focus Blast, and I think I go for Knockoff here, just because I needed to stop him from healing. And that's why, I mean, that freeze really hurt me so much here. He lands Focus Blast again. And if you look at my team, I mean, I'm kind of lacking in offensive threats a bit. And I believe, I don't know if my Spec Tier specs or not. Shadow Ball drops him down a good bit. Ice Beam, I'm at 27%, and I kill the Magearna here. And I get the Grimnai boost, or whatever you want to call it, however it's pronounced. And here again, I just click Shadow Ball. The crit did matter a lot because, I mean, it helped me basically get that thing whittled down. And now I can just go into Urshifu, and I just gotta hope that I can land a hit. But I mean, even if he recovers, I still would win. And I actually outsped with Wiggle Blow. But he could have easily whittled me down just via paras and all kinds of stuff. But I won game 1, and here comes game 2. And I brought Zapdos, Spectrier, Urshifu, Magearna, Hippo, and Toxapex. And he brought over Swampert, Buzzwole, Spectier, Mandibuzz, Heatran, and Slowking Galar. And I go Urshifu. I mean, again, it's one of those things where I just click Wicked Blow. He should have easily went into his Buzzwole, but I think his main concern was to just get up rocks, because now he goes into Buzzwole. And he goes into Heatran here. I go for Shift Gear, which, I mean, I think it was a little untimely and a little too early. And so I go Hippo. He misses the Magma Storm, which is fortunate for me. And I mean, I think I just go for Rocks right here. So, I mean, I have no reason. No, I go for Earthquake. I should have went for Rocks here. I really needed to have Rocks up against this team. And I go Zapdos here when, like I said before, I had no reason to click Earthquake because it would be a really bad play on his part to stay in against the Hippo. Especially without prior damage. Because if he would have landed that first Magma Storm and it was like a 2-hit KO, that would have been good for him, but that just wasn't the case. So I go into Urshifu here because I knew what is it, the feature site, and I get poisoned here, and the poison really did kind of turn the tides of the game a bit because it decreased the longevity of my my Urshifu, because now I can't just freely switch him into future sites because I'm still going to lose damage that turn. So I go into Hippo here, and he goes Heatran, and I mean now it's basically free rocks here, I believe. Unless I mess up again. And I go for Earthquake again. And that's again where I mess up. Where I should have just gotten up rocks. Because it will pressure his Mandibuzz so much. And I can lure the Mandibuzz out and get a Toxic off on it. And I don't go for rocks. And this is where I'm literally messing myself up. By not having rocks up early. And I go to Zapdos. He goes for Flip Turn. And like I said before, I mean, this is one of the reasons why rocks are so important, because now he gets his rocks up. I go Hippo, and he misses the Magma Storm, which is fortunate for me again. Goes Buzzwole. I finally get rocks up after forever of not doing it. So Buzzwole's not really a switch into Hippo. Just because I'm toxic, and I mean he can't really do much to me. And Slowking really isn't either, because I mean Earthquake, he goes for Sludge Bomb. I mean that does nothing because I mean I resist it. But he's stuck in kind of like a cycle where he can't really freely switch things in, because Hippo is just like a monster. It's just my own misplays with Hippo that you'll see. So like I said, that's poisoned, and here I don't know why I switched out. I had zero reason to switch out. There was absolutely no reason for me to switch that thing out, because I should have just clicked Toxic, and I need a Toxic Mandibuzz more than a paralyzed Mandibuzz, and that does come back to get me in the end. So I go for Roost against the Swampert, and I mean I missed the Hurricane, which I mean unfortunate. He gets rocks up. I think I just defog here, I believe. Oh, not Hurricane. I should have just defogged. Just because, I mean, rocks would be gone, and, I mean, Swampert was dying that turn anyways. So that's another big misplay on my part. Just, like, not thinking to turn through. He goes Slowking. I go Hippo. And the thing is, like, Hippo, at that point, should be able to just deal with that team very well. It's just, like I said, my own misplays. And that's not me discounting how Chris is playing at all. It's just I should have played things a lot better. And this is what I mean also. Mandibuzz cannot really handle Poison Hippo. I mean Toxic Hippo. Because when he comes in to get rid of rocks, I just hit it with a Toxic and whittle it down. He goes back to Slowking. I go for Discharge instead of getting rid of rocks, which I mean I probably should have done. Just because I mean I know I can freely get up rocks, and like the mindset should have been to really be more concerned about rocks. He goes for Future Sight. I mean, I get a Slack Off going. I go into my Zapdos here. And like I said, I mean, I took the Future Sight, and I mean, I should have. That was just another misplay on my part, because I did have Urshi in the back, but it's poison, so that's why, I mean, I can't really freely switch it in. So he goes in Slowking Galar. Honestly, I should have just hard switched out, because he would either defog or switch out himself, and while letting my Zapdos get whittled down by the Toxic. So Hippo comes in here, clicks Sludge Bomb again, which, I mean, I'm not worried about. I'm poisoned, but at the same time, I'm bulky enough to really not be too fussed about it. I mean, the Spec Tier is a problem if it's carrying, well, they are carrying always Hex. And I go Magearna here, and he goes Mandy. And then goes into his Heatran here. I go for Calm Mind. And he misses the Magma Storm, which is, I mean, fortunate for me, because I land the Aura Spear, which knocks him down to 16%. He lands Magma Storm. I hit him with Aura. Oh, I shift geared here, just because I was like, yeah, I'm about to just go for the kill. He goes Spec Tier, and the thing is, like, I honestly shouldn't have. I should just kill the Heatran outright instead of going for a shift gear, because I mean the Spec Tier switch in could have been pretty obvious. And I mean, I lose Magearna here, and this is where I mess up, because I should have went into my Toxapex. Toxapex should have been the switch in instead of letting Magearna die, because again, Toxapex handles Urshifu. I mean, handles his Buzzwole as well, and Urshifu is another mon that really his team struggles against. I send Hippo out, does a solid 35%, and I mean, that's what I mean. Again, I should have had Toxapex out there, because now my Hippo is whittled down a little too much. Because now, I mean, he has the incentive to click Future Sight, while I don't have the incentive to really switch anything else in. So it's another misplay on my part, and I'm just kind of like, these next few turns are just like, I'm just playing very poorly when I should have easily won the game. He allows me to slack off, which is surprised me. And again, I should have went into my Toxapex, because Toxapex will actually avoid the 2-hit KO. And I catch the Future Sight, and down goes Hippo, which is another unfortunate death when Hippo literally puts in work against his team. So I go Pex here, he goes Mandy, and this is another reason why a paralyzed Mandibuzz was not in my favor, because Scald does nothing. I needed something that would get chip damage off. I sent out Zapdos just because I'm kind of fishing for the pairs as well, to be able to take it down. And he sends out his Heatran. I roost up. I go Pex here. He misses the Magma Storm again, but I mean, missing Magma Storm against Toxapex doesn't really matter too much. And he goes to Slowking, which, I mean, matters with this thing. And I go Spec Tier because, I mean, I can just click Shadow Ball here. Nothing real. I mean, Mandy can come in, but I mean, he doesn't really want to. Well, I mean, he takes 37%, so yeah, he wants to. I honestly need it for him to get full paired. I cast the Future Sight, get a Hex off again, and like I said, I'm just kind of hoping he gets full paired, and he does here, which really benefits me. And he goes into Buzzwole. Buzzwole catches the Hex. Buzzwole's gone. He goes to his own Spectre. And I go Urshifu. Again, another misplay on my part. Because I should have went into Pex. Because the fact that he switched it in on my Spectre means he was Scarf. So not using Pex as much as I could have, definitely, like I said, more and more misplays on my part. He goes for Future Sight, and I mean, I get rid of that with Hex, but I mean, he doesn't really, he just needs for Spectre to get a kill and just to wipe me out pretty much. Because Spectre comes in and, like I said, and I go Zapdos here. Stupid play on my part. And Future Sight takes out Zapdos. But yeah, I mean, I did have to worry about the Future Sight hitting Pex, but I mean, it hurt me more than anything. And here, I mean, I should have made the aggressive play to go into my Spectre predicting the Mana Buzz to come out, because then Hex would take out everything else. And like I said, again, it's my misplays that are costing me this match. And again, not discounting Chris at all, because I mean, he still won. But I definitely should have made better plays and more sound decisions. I go for Haze. I mean, I'm kind of stuck in a loop of just like not really knowing what to do, because I mean, it would take me forever to whittle this thing down. He goes to his Heatran. I mean, I click Haze again. Well, I should have clicked Scald and just killed it. He goes for Magma Storm, and I'm pretty sure I just click Scald here, and I pretty much finish off the Heatran. Oh no, I didn't. It's still at 9%. And I think I go for Recover here. I think I did, maybe. But he might have clicked Taunt, and he Earth Powered me. Yeah, I go for Recover, and I mean, I can't take another Earth Power. I think I go for Scald here. Oh no, I should. Yeah, he kills me there. And then I send out my own Spectre, but I mean, like I said, you see that he wins because I mean, I'm slower than his. Regardless of, and I can't just beat the Mandibuzz. And GG's, I mean, that was game 2. Like I said, Chris played well, but I mean, hopefully me pointing out my misplays kind of showed you guys like how one bad turn and multiple can really like turn the battle around. And here's game 3. And I brought Obstagoon, Slowbro, Nidoking, Ferrothorn, Spectrier, and Zapdos, and he brought Regieleki, Landorus, Magearna, Zapdos, not Zapdos, Garchomp, Urshifu, and Moltres Galar. So go ahead and press play. He leads Regieleki. I lead Nido because, I mean, I expected the Regieleki lead. And he goes for a light screen here. I put up a sub because I know Regieleki can't really touch me. And so he goes Garchomp here. I go for Earth Power, when honestly I should have clicked Ice Beam because nothing on his team wants to really take the Ice Beam, regardless of having the light screen up. Because the thing is, Magearna could have taken it, but Magearna still would lose to a follow-up Earth Power. So Urshifu comes out. I hit it with a Sludge Wave, and I should have clicked. I think Sludge Wave might have done more power. That's why I did that. He bulks up here, which is really puts me in a bad spot. Goes for close combat, knocks out my Ferrothorn. When honestly, I probably should have went into my Zapdos just to kind of fish for a pair. He goes for Wicked Blow, knocks me all the way down to 5%. I get a discharge off. So he's down to 8% now. Wicked Blow kills me. And I get the pair, thankfully. So then Nidoking comes back out. I mean, I knew he was going to switch out. And I go for sub here. But again, I could have easily just pressed Ice Beam and just killed everything in front because nothing wants to switch in. And he goes back to Regieleki. He puts up a screen. I go for a sub here. And if you know anything about Regieleki, it's a suicide lead. I go for Ice Beam here. And he clicks Explosion. And I should have clicked, I should have had a sub up. If I put sub up, I would have been in a lot better position to kind of win the game. He goes for Agility. I click Sludge Wave, and this is one of the reasons why I should have had a sub up. Goes for Fiery Wrath, and that just kills me outright. And so I go Obstagoon, which, I mean, he lands the Hurricane, unfortunately for me. I just wish Obstagoon got extreme speed. I go Spectrier. I mean, I can't do anything to that. And then Slowbro comes out. And I mean, I just lose the Moltres, and hopefully, I mean, you see the misplays I made where I could have definitely had this more in my favor. But GG's to Chris, and Chris wins 2-1, which is 2 for squad and 1 for central. And as always, I mean, got a lot more coming.